Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic, hope doing well, and today we'll be talking about a little bit of a box office breakdown with the international box office specifically because as we all know, the box office ain't doing nothing here in the States. However, overseas, where guess what, there is still a pandemic and yet they've been able to figure out how to handle it in their own way with their own specific cultural needs. They're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well. So let's talk about Demon Slayer and how well it's doing over in Japan especially. But before we do, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell notification. That way you know every time a video goes live. Also, I'm on Rumble, so check out links in the description of the video to go follow me over on Rumble if you are tired of YouTube. Because I don't know how to monetize over on Rumble yet. I'm hoping that they kind of make it a little bit easier, a little bit more straightforward, but I don't know. If you know more about Rumble than I do, please feel free to reach out. But let's go ahead and dive into the story from Deadline. Demon Slayer tops $310 million overseas and advances on the 2020 chart. The Crude's a New Age, now number 2, China import this year. Oh, yay, it's doing well in China. Bunch of commies. I wouldn't find that to be a positive in my book, but that's just me. Monday update. The international box office continues to provide welcome surprises during the pandemic era. Where movie theaters are open and people feel safe, they turn up for new and enduringly exciting product that's an offer. Well, here's the thing. They show up for movies they want to see. Keep in mind that Demon Slayer is a very popular manga. It's a very popular product over there already. So for them to announce a movie which was as people have been telling me, a continuation of the story, guess what? That's going to make people want to go see it. Whereas here in the States, you have a lot of movies that people tend to either not ask for or movies that are just not coming out. You know what would actually help Hollywood? You know what actually would help movie theaters in general be able to stay afloat? AMC themselves have already said they will run out of cash in January if things do not change. Well, guess what? Things ain't gonna change because Warner Brothers is releasing all their films on HBO Max at the same time. Disney Plus has announced, hey, we're into series now. Yep, that is the world that we live in today. But oh no, it's only where people feel safe and where people are safe and when theaters are open. If movies were being released, guess what? If you show it, they will come at some point. But until then, it's going to keep on dying. To wit, Japan's, we really used to wit Deadline, come on. Japan's Demon Slayer, the movie, Mugen Train, has perhaps become the story of the year. A runaway success across this period, and in its 9th weekend, it is now estimated to have crossed at least 310 million worldwide, largely from the home market, but also including Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Vietnam. You know what all those places smell of? Freedom. Yeah, freedom. This makes it the number 3 movie of 2020 overseas behind the 474 million in China. We really can't trust that because it's from China. And also My People, My Homeland, 431 million in China. Also cannot believe that. So you know what? In my mind, Demon Slayer is the biggest movie of the year because China sucks. As it overtakes Tenet at $303.5 million. Hold on a second. This movie has now made more money than Tenet did. Keep in mind, Tenet did not make its money back because it cost a crap ton of money to make. Demon Slayer, I imagine, cost a lot less than Tenet did, and yet I guarantee you that film probably made bonkers money as far as how much money it got return on its investment versus Tenet. You want to know why? Because guess what? Theaters have been open. You want to know where it's making most of that money? As it says, in Japan. You know what's going on in Japan? That's right. Their theaters are open. Ridiculous. The movie is days away from becoming the top-grossing film of all time in Japan, overtaking Hayao Miyazaki's 2001 Spirited Away. Think about that for a minute. It has taken 19 years to reach this level, and it was done during a pandemic. Maybe because people want to get outside. Maybe because people want to leave their homes. Maybe because people want to actually have entertainment on their screen and be entertained by others. Because people are dying for this. Like, seriously, to think for a second that people are so stupid that they can't understand why a film is doing nearly as well as it is during the time of a pandemic as they keep trying to mention, it really should come as no surprise. Imagine, if you will, a giant film were released here in the States and all the theaters were allowed to remain open and you didn't have all the fear-mongering going on in the media and you didn't have all of the government shutdowns going on in California and New York. Hashtag recall Governor Newsom, by the way. And also, believe all women, Governor Cuomo. Isn't that interesting? But that's for another channel. Go check out the OMB report where I talk about issues like that. However, with that being said, it becomes that much more clear as to why this is the case. Because if you were to release a giant film that people wanted to see here in the States, guess what? It would make money. You want to know why Tenet didn't make money? Probably because, guess what? Theaters were closed in New York and California, two of the largest markets for theaters here in the United States. Also across the world, theaters were just in the process of reopening at that time. It's insane to me that we are still living in a world where people are scared to release movies into the theater. I understand people have cause for concern, especially if they have elderly people in their life, especially if they have those that are sick in their life, because they have a much higher risk of something happening to them. But seeing that the vast majority of people don't have this, don't have it, won't get it, the fact that the vast majority of people will completely be okay from this as well, and yet we are acting as if you walk outside and you die, is insane to me. It's destroying the economy, it's destroying the movie industry, and it, of course, ticks me off in general, as I'm sure I've made very clear on this channel. It is really cool, though, to see a film like Demon Slayer doing as well as it is, but it makes complete sense to me as to why it is doing as well as it is. Because when you think about people being forced to stay home, guess what? They're going to want an escape. They're going to want a release. The theater used to be able to offer that. Movies used to be able to offer that. Now they're so filled with Hollywood propaganda that even without a pandemic, it's hard to justify wanting to go see any of these damn films that come out. Goes on. In Japan, Demon Slayer has grossed a confirmed 30.3 billion yen, 291.5 million. That's right. So this has become one of the highest grossing films. In fact, the highest grossing film of the year, because I don't count China, overseas. Actually, in general, the highest grossing film of the year. And yet, this was a film that made most of its money in its home location in Japan. As I said, that could happen in America too, if theaters were allowed to open. If Hollywood actually released their damn films, and also even more to the point, if they released films that people actually wanted to see. But that's not happening. You have famous properties from places like Marvel and Star Wars, and guess what? They're destroying it. They're not making it for the fans, and that's why they tend to not do nearly as well. Now, obviously, Marvel's done incredibly well. Don't get me wrong, the last Marvel film to come out was a giant success. Wasn't a very good film, though, and I honestly think that it probably destroyed the chances of other films in the future doing as well or living up to that same type of hype, because I think a lot of people have checked off really since Endgame came out. But we'll have to wait and see, of course. And if a film doesn't do as well in theaters, they'll just say, oh, yeah, we blame it on COVID. Which is why I think that you could see Disney release several of their movies onto Disney Plus to try and make up for some of that loss, because Warner Brothers and all the studios are just single-handedly destroying all theaters by not releasing new films. It's insane. Truly insane. It's now 500 million yen below Spirited Away and making it only the second movie ever to cross 30 billion yen in the market. Admissions through 59 days total 22.5 million, with giveaways boosting repeat viewings. 22.5 million admissions. That's 22.5 million tickets. So there's been repeat viewings from that, but millions of people have gone to see this film. That's something I really wish we tracked here in the States. Because you always hear about the number. You always hear about how much the movie made, but that's only ever part of the story. This, to me, shows very clearly millions of people wanted to go see this movie, wanted to get out of their damn houses, out of lockdown, and go support something that they wanted to go see. MX 4D and 4DX versions will be on offer in 82 cinemas from December 26, with 300,000 special edition keychains going to moviegoers, Toho Aniplex said today. They know how to get people to come out. Hollywood has lost that intuition long ago. And then it says elsewhere there was activity in China. And I don't care about activity in China, because China is a bunch of commies and we really can't trust anything that comes out of that country. And that would include box office numbers with that, which is why, Demon Slayer, congratulations. You are the highest grossing film of 2020. Good job. Anyway, what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, before I go, IMAX has now weighed in also on the Warner HBO Max theatrical plan, saying it's a real issue. You've had AMC talk about it. You've seen directors come out about it, and it's a problem. It really is. It's Hollywood continuing to be full of themselves, right? It's Hollywood continuing to think that they're high and mighty, they're better than everyone else, and I think that them calling it out as a problem is a good thing. Now, it's hypocritical for these people to say it, because they are also the millionaires. The millionaires are the same people calling this crap out. However, it is still something I think is important, because if you care about movie theaters at all, you're going to want to know more about this. You're going to want to voice your concern. You're going to want to voice your frustration, because if we don't have theaters, guess what? a Demon Slayer couldn't happen here. And to be honest, I think it couldn't happen here a long time ago. And that was, again, even before the pandemic. The box office has been dying for a very long time, and I think that the speeding up of that process happened with COVID, with the lockdowns. But that will never have a chance to get back up and slow the bleeding unless theaters are allowed to reopen and Hollywood gets their heads out of their asses and starts to release not only just movies to theaters, movies that people want to see, but that they start to make movies that people want to see. Instead of playing identity politics with their stories and their narratives, giving us the stories that we want, giving movies for fans, thinking of fans. Marvel used to do that. And now, of course, we know that they're falling further and further into the identity politics game. And guess what? If you think that that's going to bring people back to theaters when there aren't any theaters left because they've been forced to close down because you've failed to release them, as governors that you've supported have failed to open up their states, all comes back to you. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe. It helps out a lot. Also, hit that Rumble button. Hit the Rumble. If you're over on Rumble, I don't exactly know what that means or what it does, but hit it anyway because I need to figure out monetization over there. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Check out the links in the description of the video to make sure you know also other ways to support the channel. Have a wonderful day. You're amazing, beautiful, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my December Patreon and Subscribe Star members, starting off with Patreon, Albertus Magnus, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P., Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Carney, Kenneth Camille, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Outpost Dyer, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Miss Martin Muses, also known as Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bogend, Tina B, and the Modern Major General, Laura Story. Gotta give you that shout out for that one time that you were doubled up. Thank you very much for being my Patreon members. And now a huge shout out to all of my December Subscribe Star members we have over there with Stand For, Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadan G. Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you all so much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members. If you want your name shouted out at the end of every video and live stream on the main channel, please consider joining over on those platforms. You can also get access to things like exclusive giveaways of 4Ks, Blu-rays. If you want a DVD, I guess you could also get a DVD as well, digital codes, and of course, you get to possibly join me on the channel once a month for the Chosen of Valhalla live stream and access to an exclusive podcast featuring John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where we have a lot of fun talking about movies and tons of other random things. Anyway, if you want to support these things, check out the links in the description of this video. And also, please consider joining my other channel, the OMB Report, where I talk about not just movies like I do over here, but I focus more so on politics, news, and culture in that order. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for your love and support. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.